In the top stories, water restoration in St. Peter's nears completion. Guyanese mother admits to feeding 4-year-old daughter poison. And U.S. President visits Florida's hurricane cleanup zone. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew has said that his administration is fully committed to resolving the water situation affecting the St. Peter's area and other communities in St. Kitts, and as of Tuesday, this is about 80% completed. Prime Minister Dr. Drew was speaking following a visit to a well site in St. Peter's, where employees of the Water Services Department are working to resolve the situation that caused water interruptions for a few days. He stated, quote, "We're committed to making sure that this is resolved, and I want to say that Honorable Conris Maynard has given his commitment to make sure that we resolve the water situation, not just in St. Peter's, but we want to resolve it throughout the whole of St. Kitts and Nevis," end quote. A water truck was deployed to the area to temporarily assist. The United Nations, or UN, is partnering with St. Kitts and Nevis and 3 other Eastern Caribbean countries to pilot a project aimed at reducing poverty and inequalities, increasing youth employment, and enhancing social protection systems for households. The Resilient Caribbean, Engaging and Training Youth, Strengthening Integrated Social Protection Sector Delivery Joint Program was launched at the Solid Waste Management Corporation Conference Room in Basse-Terre at a ceremony on Tuesday. Didier Tribuc, UN Resident Coordinator for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, attended the launch in St. Kitts and Nevis. He stated that the project is designed to help accelerate progress to achieve Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs 2030. Mr. Tribuc noted that initiatives led by the public sector, private sector, non-governmental agencies, and other civil society groups will greatly benefit from this SDG joint program. Innovative and evidence-based management operational tools that build up social protection resilience will be used in this joint program. The opening ceremony featured an address by Senator the Honorable Iselin Phillip, Junior Minister and Minister for Youth Empowerment and Social Development of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Super 6 playoffs resumes on Wednesday after an unplanned midweek playoff break last week. At 6 p.m. this evening, Hobson Enterprises, Garden Hotspurs, and Flow 4G Keon Rockets will do battle in a crucial encounter. How will these teams fare? For Keon, they are confident they can get the results they need to improve their standings. Here's more in this report.
The only team in the Super 6 not to lose a match so far is Flow 4G Keon Rockets. But after 2 matches, Keon only has 2 points and 2 goals, and they would want to do more when they step onto the pitch at the Warner Park to face Hobson Enterprises Garden Hotspurs.
Same though as we won, we win all the rest games. We can reach the 40s out of everybody. Because everybody have lost a game, Keon have not lost none. So we intend to do that, to start from our first game coming Wednesday, to win from there, just concentrating on Spurs right now. I mean, Spurs been playing good all the time, right? But there's a part they know that this part of this week here, that everybody now are trying to make sure to win the game coming up. Because this week can start to get a little more shape, and most of the team then who are going to be out of the finals.
The confidence level though among the team in training is high. Captain Malik Roberts said the team is ready to deliver the performance fans have been waiting for.
Back here at the training ground, we just got to put in the work, play together, go in there Wednesday and do what we come in the park to do and capitalize on everything we have to do. Well, the confidence level is really high right now, like a win last game.
The unplanned mid-post-season break due to the hosting of the Freedom Concert last week gave teams like Keon an opportunity to have injured players recuperate to full fitness.
I know a lot of teams had injuries too, so he put out a positive into some of the players by now, or some of the team by now, we gave up players by by the next time around. Because that's going to break the poor guys who are injured and had us to come back. To be a lot more better now, 100% now.
So it benefits Keon in that sense as well?
Yeah, because like I say, we had a player here, which is Javi. We know he was out for some time and he didn't get in. Then he come back in against Canary and get injured. And now Javi is full strength again. Like I said, sometimes he's training by himself. He's over here. We have Leon too, who are back here to training fully too. So we're looking at more that we're more getting back and we'll keep players them.
We move now to news on the regional scene. A 23-year-old woman in Guyana admitted to feeding her 4-year-old daughter a poisonous substance on Tuesday. Tiana Cole has more in this report.
The 4-year-old is currently in a critical condition at the New Amsterdam hospital. According to information, the woman who is in custody along with her husband told investigators that she and her husband were imbibing at her mother-in-law's home at number 70 Village last Sunday. The woman added that she collected a poisonous substance in a bottle from her in-laws and left it in her number 50 Village residence. However, on her return home, the woman told investigators that she and her husband began to argue, and it was then that she threatened to poison their 2 children, the 4-year-old and a younger child. She also threatened to end her life. The woman then reportedly force-fed the poison to the 4-year-old child, who then informed her father. The child was then rushed to the Port Morat hospital before being transferred in a critical state to the New Amsterdam hospital. The mother had initially told police that she secured the poison in the goat pen between a tire. She told police that her daughter was playing in the yard and managed to get her hands on the bottle of poison and drank it by accident. Both parents remain in police custody. Reporting for AGP Nightly News, I am Tiana Cole.
And finally, in regional news, Antigua and Barbuda and Japan marked a major milestone in their diplomatic relations on Tuesday. Both countries celebrated 4 decades of close ties and outlined prospects for even closer collaboration. ABS's Garfield Burford reports.
The flag of Japan being raised at the office of the Prime Minister on Tuesday, followed by the flag of Antigua and Barbuda. The countries' respective rousing anthems played. It was a celebration of 4 decades of diplomatic engagement which started on this date in 1982. Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable E.P. Chet Green thanked Japan for the key role it has played in the Twin Island states' development.
Japan over the years has provided support in technical areas and critical areas such as management of coastal fisheries, disaster mitigation, agriculture, water harvesting, and solid waste management.
The newest unit at the Fries Beach Reverse Osmosis plant was a grant from Japan, another testament to how close these 2 states have been. The Asian country also stood with the Twin Island state in the aftermath of hurricane damage 5 years ago.
My government will forever be grateful for the timely support extended by Japan following the passage of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The provision of equipment and materials greatly assisted our nation with the national recovery effort.
A senior Japanese official was on hand for the occasion, Parliamentary Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs Akimoto Masatoshi. He spoke through a translator of the areas of cooperation between both states and the bonds which have cemented their partnership.
Over the past 40 years, our 2 countries have shared fundamental values such as freedom, democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. And we have strengthened cooperation and friendship.
Parliamentary Vice Minister Akimoto also expressed his gratitude to Antigua and Barbuda for hosting the Eastern Caribbean Ministerial Meeting on Fisheries and Sustainable Use of Living Marine Resources. That 2-day conference started on Monday at the Tradewinds Hotel. Both countries have also committed to expand and strengthen diplomatic relations.
Internationally, U.S. President Joe Biden made a politically charged visit on Wednesday to inspect the aftermath of deadly Hurricane Ian in Florida, while also presenting a united front despite bitter disagreements with Republican critic and potential 2024 opponent, Governor Ron DeSantis. More in this France 24 report.
1 week on, search and rescue efforts continue in Florida, looking for those caught in Hurricane Ian.
What we have learned is that in that period, getting people out there, it increases the chances of survival tremendously. We want to get to those that have run out of medication, those who maybe are trapped in their homes because of the debris.
The death toll from the disaster is now over 100, and it is estimated to be Florida's costliest storm ever. Projections putting the damage at over $20 billion. Fort Myers was hit hard by the Category 4 hurricane. The city receives 5 million tourists every year. But now it's a scene of destruction. Its famous beaches unrecognizable under the debris.
We have a difficult time identifying property at times because the property is no longer there, it's not existent. And that's what takes time. We got to do things proper. When we have a home that's standing and we can walk up to it and we can search it, it's a lot easier than something that's unidentifiable or doesn't exist.
President Biden will visit Fort Myers on Wednesday, where he will meet Florida governor and political rival Ron DeSantis. Despite being an outspoken critic of the president, Republican DeSantis has praised the government response to the disaster. And ahead of election season, it will be a rare moment of bipartisanship between the two men.
And finally, in international news, the first preliminary hearing looking into the United Kingdom government's COVID-19 pandemic response has opened, promising to get to the truth in a process that will not drag on for decades. Al Jazeera's Charlie Angela reports.
That's my dad and that's my eldest. So.
The last time Amanda Henry saw her father, Robert, looking well in a care home, the country was locking down against coronavirus.
He was quite a character. He was, always joking, always singing.
4 weeks later, he was dead, with COVID-19 as the cause of death.
So his
ashes now sit in her living room. She blames the government's decision to discharge people from hospitals into care homes without testing them for COVID first.
There were so many failings. When they said that priority testing was going to happen for elderly residents in care, that didn't happen. That was not happening. When they said they were putting this steel ring around vulnerable people in care homes, that didn't happen.